In the 20th century of the mundane calendar, the world's greatest wizards took the most radical steps to save their dying way of life from irrelevance. They stopped warring with each other and created the Forbidden Academy, an impossible building at the center of an impossible city, lighting the way to a new era of magic and wonder. This is a story from the earliest days of the Academy, when old blood feuds fueled a new war for the very soul of magic itself, and the three unlikely heroes who brought progress to the magical world. This is the story of the Constelation Revolution.
Welcome to Perpetual Players. We are a game development actual play podcast where we are building a brand new game for the Perpetual Motion role-playing engine. I'm your GM, Christian, and I'm joined by my wonderful cast featuring...
Hi, I'm Kat, she, her, and today I'll be playing Lionel, he, him, who is an uncompromising prefect legacy with an attunement in restoration.
Hi, I'm Lyra, she, they, and I play Crash Thunder, he, him, a grafted rowdy playmaker who's a rough and tumble enchanter working as a scaled one.
Hi everyone, my name is Madison Stanton. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Today I am playing the Promise Bluff, she, her, hers. She is an NFDG performance artist who has an attunement in fire magic. She also works for the physicians.
We did this last time. Her attunement is not fire magic.
Her attunement is being really cool and
Persuasion.
Persuasion, which I did know.
Which I did know.
100%.
So, a couple things have changed. First off, it is a whole 3 months since we last, or 4 months since we last recorded a session. And so that's going to be a little awkward for us because while for you, it'll be like no time has passed, for us, it will be an eternity. Also, we are now in person, so I can now do this.
Jesus.
Do I get a prize?
No. So
What is
previously,
it?
it's dice.
You can use them.
We were recording from, what color is it?
Gray.
Ill-omened.
Whoa.
Previously, we were recording at two separate locations, but now, through the magic of travel, we have managed to enter into each other's world, and I can now interact with my players. They never know when I'm going to throw things. I have so many dice.
And I caught it.
You did.
Which is probably more rare.
But besides that, we are back now, and before we get into the session, I do have a question for you. What is your character's ideal movie to watch? You're going to the drive-in movies with your sweetheart, and you're going to settle up to watch something in your massively oversized car that gets -5 miles to the gallon. That'd be like if it was actually gaining gas while it drove, I guess. Anyway, you rock up in your beautiful 1960s car, and you've settled into the drive-in. What kind of story are you going to be entertained by?
So I think Promise's movie is something that she goes to alone. She drives up to the movie and she is watching like I Found Love on the Ranch. And it is like this very trashy Fabio male lead and the most vivacious blonde-haired lead actress, and she's just sitting there and she's just like finally able to actually like leave the world for a minute because it's so detached from reality.
What is the genre that is 12 Angry Men?
Like courtroom drama? Like political thriller?
Yeah. Because I was thinking it's kind of like a mystery.
To Kill a Mockingbird, maybe?
No, more like 12 Angry Men than To Kill a Mockingbird. It's
Not enough arguing.
Not enough arguing. Too much, not enough drama? Too much drama? Different type of drama?
Yeah.
But I think that 12 Angry Men came out 10 years-ish ago. And I think he's watched it a lot.
Lyra, have you searched for
Yes.
Crash?
Crashes is definitely Rebel Without a Cause.
Just over and over again, just constant James
If there's
Dean.
anything that Lionel and Crash could agree on, it's that they watch the same movie over and over and over again.
Okay. Just two different movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, with that news, I'm going to take us back now into the library where last we left off. Now, do you still have your hand-drawn maps?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll look at cats.
Yes.
I don't know if
Okay.
you want to.
Why did that earn like a ho-hop?
Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
no, she knows what it looks like, and I didn't want that.
when last we left off, you found yourselves... What are you doing?
I tried, because the map's real small and the square is real big.
Okay,
Because
gotcha.
I thought that it was going to be a lot of maze, and then when I showed it to you 4 months ago after we
Right.
recorded, you went, "Hey, so you've maybe kind of seen half of the room already," and I took up 20% of the square.
You previously were in the maze, and you had acquired 3 items: a seemingly normal paper, a quill pen focus that does add +10 to all form rolls you make, and a bottle of ink. That brings us to the other thing you found, which was a Talon, which is a society in the Forbidden Academy dedicated to magical perfection or magical excellence. And you found a rather bedraggled Talon posted up into a portion of the library. He seems to have been hiding there for several days. And he told you that his partner, Sasha, had been taken inside the library's restricted section. You're sitting at a T intersection. To the right, you have the little corner where he was hiding. You seem to have pretty much gotten all that. Or sorry, that is to your left. This is now where we say, I'm dyslexic. And you can go to the left, or you can go to the right, which you don't know quite what you'll discover if you go to the right.
So the corner with that had the Talon student, because we sent him out, right? I think I shielded him and then told him to leave.
Yes, I
think
believe you
you're
did
right.
do that.
Touch the ape.
He definitely left.
Do you think you said that? So we told him to leave, but that is a dead end over there.
It's like
Yes.
a closet.
It's a little reading nook.
I know, isn't it like half-eaten books and piss and shit in the corner?
There is no piss and shit that you can see. There are half-eaten books.
Can I
But he's
roll,
been there for 5 days.
can I roll investigation for piss and shit?
You can make a perception check searching for piss and shit.
Yeah, 72, so...
Can I also roll?
Sure.
Oh, I didn't write down if I had any counters. I'm sure I didn't.
Do we remember who took the ink specifically?
You have the ink.
I have the
You
ink.
Yeah,
have
because you
the
were like, oh, I could put it in my wand, maybe.
Yeah, not yet, but I do want to take the... Who has the paper?
You do.
I have all of the things.
I have
No.
the
How
quill.
convenient.
I have the quill.
Okay, but I have the 2 things that I would like.
The ink and the paper.
The ink and the paper. Can I just take them, put them on one of the briefcases and just try to get a vibe as to how magic they are, or if they are enchanted?
I need either a no or a perception roll for that.
Promise is starting strong, and we're in the corner looking for piss and shit.
And
I'm
where
starting off strong, and I don't have my
The
2 dice I need.
the two of you bonding.
I know I will use these, but like that's tea. I don't have my dice.
That's why you
That's
got thrown
crazy.
Just
dice.
stressing. So, what did you find, Lionel? Did you roll?
Moth of 59.
Maffa 59, Lord alive. We're getting it out early. Yeah, somehow neither of you can find the piss and shit.
It's somewhere, I guess. Maybe.
For me,
This is
it's
gonna
like
be
a
flipped,
moth
for sure.
of 31.
So we are not great today already.
If I could just see if it has a label on it.
Nope, there's no labels of, actually, so you can see, it seems to be paper and the ink. The only thing weird about the ink that is like you can visibly tell is that the ink is moving without any kind of like, disturbance. Like you put it on and it still moves.
Well, I will pocket them and I will walk over to Lionel and Crash, who are hunched over looking for piss and shit. Did we want to try to figure this whole situation out? We have books flying off the shelves. We have a anthropomorphic monkey in the other room and like a samurai and a ninja in the next.
It's not an anthropomorphic orangutan, it's just an orangutan.
Promise, I don't think you understand. He was here eating books for 5 days, and there's no piss or shit.
It's scary.
I don't understand.
No piss and shit?
None.
Yeah, you take a look. roll. 60.
That's an 80.
Oh, is it? No, it's
Oh, that's a
60.
60, yeah.
I like this trend of Cat not knowing what numbers are.
Can
I
you
said
give me a
it.
You failed, and you also cannot locate the piss and shit.
Guys, it's weird. It's really weird. We could look here forever.
Yo, what if the monkey ate it?
Maybe it was just really nutritious books.
Why
and
would the... Well,
He just internalized all of it.
he's a 100% metabolism. Okay, we can leave. Okay.
I'm just saying maybe we try to fuck over those other guys in the other room? Or is that a bad idea?
I'm kind of tapped out on fighting, to be honest.
You're tapped out. We just got here, Crash.
That ape beat the shit out of me.
The ape beat the shit out of it.
That ape got me good.
Well,
Okay, smallpox. Calm down.
Okay, well,
It was a corn nut.
maybe we don't fight. That's probably a really good idea,
So-
Crash.
I'll sit in the back.
From where you are at the T intersection, you can, well, I'm going to say you never left the T intersection. You've been rooting around in his little alcove. So you can go backwards towards Monkey, towards Brigand, towards Ninja.
I want to go right.
So if you're going right,
I'll lead the way. I'm like just walking over to the door, and I want to put my ear up to it.
go through and you don't see anything of an immediate threat to you. As you walk on, you see a couple like more bookshelves, more books flying around, going where they are.
Crash is crawling once he sees the books.
Okay.
I'm
You
not
just
getting
got
hit.
Full get down. Don't Charlie can see us. But as you keep walking, you see now the word you people would use would be skid marks.
Did he poop in, this was his poop room?
This is the piss and shit.
No, you see no piss and shit. But what you do see is what looks like some kind of residue on the ground. It is dark. It is,
And Crash is crawling around down there.
Can I
Does it
sniff
stink?
Can I sniff it?
as far as you can tell, has no.
But what if you rolled for it? Can I roll to sniff?
Yeah, roll, I guess, perception.
Yeah.
Is there like a plaque on top of the entryway to this room that's like
It's not really.
mystery
Beats it.
novels
Beats it,
or
beats
like
it.
what?
No, because remember, there's no organizational system in the library. The library is intelligent. That is the central conflict of this particular thing, is that the library is an intelligent thing. And so you just go in and you ask it for stuff. So there is no organization. Also, it's not rooms so much as you're just kind of navigating curves in it. The library is laid out like a maze because it's just kind of something that was built ad hoc, like as they're building it. They just kind of kept slapping more stuff on it as more books are added. Crash, what roll did you get?
Meets a beats it.
You realize through sniffing, what I don't know, I can't describe what the smell is because I don't know what it smells like. It is ink. And it is dripping from above you. You will remember that the restricted section of the library is like on a closed bridge that extends out over the pit. There's a large hole that is dripping down into the regular book section, and it is now dripping down and then flowing from your perception what would be to the right.
I'm gonna keep crawling towards the ink like a bloodhound.
So
just
we're
on
at
the
another
ground,
intersection?
sniffing.
You are actually at a corner. This is where the library, you've now hit the sort of, if we're using absolute directions, you've hit what would be the northeastern corner of the library.
So there's
No.
only a way right.
Yeah, you can only go right at this point.
We're like,
Oh, I'm so in the wrong place.
You found Samir in the northwestern corner.
No, I mean on my map.
I know. I'm locked in.
I got it in here.
Was there something you wanted to do before?
I'm following the
I
ink
do
like a
it.
bloodhound.
Are you you're planning to make the right and go down,
I'm
sort
gonna
of go
just keep
southward?
sniffing out the ink.
Okay.
Gosh, don't push on too far because
Do you touch the ink?
No, I'm sniffing it. I'm not touching it. I'm sniffing it.
Okay, this is an important question.
the ink that's in my hands or the ink that's dripping, the residue.
Dripping ink.
Either.
Okay.
I'm not touching either.
Does
It-
Crash say it's ink? Mm-hmm. Lionel will touch it.
It's ink.
Lionel, you touch it?
Lionel will touch it.
Okay, so it is dry, so I need you to make a discipline check plus 15.
Is the drip
So it's an easier.
So it's dripping. So what I will say is it's dripping down, but the
There's other
skid
stuff that's
marks,
dried.
The
skid marks are
tracks
dry.
of it are dry, but there's just like a little tiny itty bitty dribble.
Any signs of struggle
We're up here.
with the
No.
residue?
Other than the fact that it seems to have broken through a hole in the restricted section.
Moss of 33.
And you touched it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You touch the ink and you get a little static shock.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you share with the class?
Lionel.
Yeah, Lionel will go, ow.
Oh, Lionel, this might be a little crazy, but what do you think about maybe like flying me up through the hole?
Through the ink hole?
I mean, it's not covered. It's like we can see the books. Promise will look up and see is it big enough for maybe a human. A human
could easily get in and out of the.
Would you get ink all over you though?
You would definitely have to touch the ink.
I would have to touch the ink.
You could make like a dexterity check.
Maybe you get me up there some way, you windy guy, and I'll take out the paper and I will just put it under the ink and see if it has any sort of reaction with the paper that was in the room. Just a corner of it.
It immediately absorbs into the paper and it starts like shaking a little bit and then just like flies away.
The paper flies.
Like it just like takes off and starts floating around like the books do.
Oh shit.
Okay. And the hole is definitely to the
restricted section. Yes.
So Promise, the reason I don't love that plan.
I was going to do it whether you like it or not.
Okay, so then hear me out really quickly. There is no way to get out of that room currently because if you remember, it's warded, and that's why Sasha's stuck up there.
But if I just wanted to fly around and have an excuse maybe to get a closer look, that's maybe killing two birds with one stone, bro? Just maybe, if I got to fly around, maybe catch the paper that flew away. And also...
But I don't think that you would gain anything by catching the paper, and I don't think that sending you up into the space alone would be particularly
Well, that
helpful.
doesn't sound like you very much believe in your sister.
I don't want to see you die again.
What? Okay, that was like weeks ago. I'm like a whole new woman now. And you don't believe me.
Just want to note to Crash, who I'm assuming you've been following the thing like a bloodhound the whole time. Yeah. So you've kind of separated.
When they warble like this, I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Who am I to stand between sisters / brother sister?
Sister brother.
Wow. He uses he.
All right, let's cut it. Who am I to stand between brother sister?
It's staying in.
The whole thing's staying in.
You're the first person to actually say that Lionel is in the body of a woman, so...
It's true. It is the first time it's been stated.
Lionel is in the body of a woman and Crash notices.
And that's Crash's notice.
I don't believe in seeing bodies.
So, Crash, you come up to a spell circle of some kind. Drawn in, the ink kind of manifests into this, but the spell circle is glowing in sort of like a bright blue as you approach it. And this is where the tracks stop.
So this is where I think the ink is being sourced from?
No, this is like the ink, whatever made the ink trail, made it to this circle, and then...
like dripped down from restricted, walked over here, and just stopped here.
Yes.
I'm gonna look around for an ape, because I didn't do that last time. A little traumatized. Do I see a creature in the room with me? Doesn't have to be an ape, but
so
definitely
since you're doing a general,
just doing like a quick, like I'm on the floor, quick peek around, like.
So as a reminder of how the difference between a perception check and an investigation combat. An investigation is you are looking for information about the situation you're in at this second, whereas a perception check, if you want to find something specific, you ask, do I see a specific thing?
Then I guess I will be rolling investigation.
Okay. So make a quick investigative combat.
Okay. So I fail.
So then you just roll your investigative combat die.
Mental damage.
3 + 1d4. That's a 1. Okay, so 4.
You rolled a 4. So you do not see anything in the immediate. What you do see is another destroyed bookshelf off to, again, facing south to your right, and then a small sort of like wedge. If you want to go the other direction, you'd have to like wedge yourself between some bookshelves that are backed up against each other.
And that's in what cardinal direction?
That would be in the southerly direction.
They're both in the south.
No, so the broken bookshelf is to your west, and the other one is to your south.
Okay. Can I roll a knowledge check to see if this spell circle, like, if there are any, like, runes or symbols that, like, I've just seen in class before?
Yeah.
To, like, kind of get an idea of what the spell circle was used for?
I'll even go so far to say you get I'll give you a +10 to this knowledge roll.
Okay. Slide. I go to class now, because they made me.
Slept through a class once.
It happens. Hey, definitely past that. It's a 23 versus a 47.
Yep.
So that is a moss of 24.
So, yeah, you absolutely recognize what the hell this thing is.
Hey.
This is an improvised version of a replicator spell. The same kinds of things that constitute your food.
Oh.
It is a form copying spell.
So, like, okay.
And so whatever made this needed to alter a form. Is
Or
this thing-
reproduce.
Sure, yes, or reproduce. This is kind of like, and this was done scratchily with a very fine tipped object that carved it into the floor.
Can I hold up the quill that I found
Uh-huh.
to this and see if it's, like, the same,
Yep.
like, width?
It is.
Slay! Okay, wait, that's so fun. I'm gonna take out, actually, I'm just on my arm, gonna test the quill to see if it has ink or if it needs ink.
Lionel plans to join Crash at some point. Can you just tell me when he joins in?
Yeah, sure. If you wanna be coming in at this point,
And I'm gonna actually cast Strengthen on myself.
okay, using the quill.
Using the quill.
Okay.
Just to see if, like, does this use ink innately, or do I need to, like, load it eventually with this?
Wait, but is that what the quill does?
No, that's just what happened, but it's a +10.
Oh, okay.
The quill, in using it, does not need ink at all. It just, as you write it, it sort of expresses your will, and you write like a strengthening rune on yourself. And so you receive the effects of strengthen. Add durability to a substance, also enhance the damage of the object if used as a melee weapon, based on the moss of the target roll divided by 10. So you don't have a target roll, so in lieu of a target roll, you are just going to roll your damage die, and it is going to have that effect. So
Slay.
this would do that to your fists, I'm assuming, if you're doing it on yourself. So then you're going to add 1 damage die to the damage value of your fists.
8 plus, you said 1?
No, it's just flat 8.
Oh, slide. Okay. So I'm adding 8 to myself. Would that kind of attribute into my health number? Or
No,
would
that-
this just be like against any future attacks?
That is
I have
the-
a +8.
The damage value you have, so whenever you roll to hit, you do a +8 damage.
So it's strengthening my punch.
Yes, it strengthens the pound.
I like that. +8 to punch. But in the way that it writes, is this also the same, like, I guess it would be the same width as the circle.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to I'm gonna copy the exact same circle next to me, and I would like to see, actually, here, sidebar above the table.
Okay.
Could I make a copy of Bobo with this, or would I need the physical object?
So the thing is, this circle is creating a specific form. Like, this is something that is like,
Specific to the thing that was in it.
yeah, that was made.
Oh, okay.
So when you when you tell the replicator to make a cheeseburger, basically the way it works, now just as a lore gab moment, the way it works is it's basically like, you ever see those sand mandalas that they make? Like, it's a bunch of shapes of colored sand, and then when you twist it changes, the sand like rises up and changes into the object you want. And so if you know all the combinations and like the geometric sigil for cheeseburger, that will turn the sand into a cheeseburger. So this geometric shape is the shape of something.
Okay, then I'm just gonna copy it word for word and see what happens, and see what rises
Are you going to
out.
put energy in it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need you to make an energy roll.
What happens if
Before
Wait.
we get
Wait, where are you
into-
copying this?
Right next to it.
Oh, okay.
I
are
have
you
a couple things
specifically
I want
trying to make Bobo?
No, I'm just trying to see what they made with this by just making it again.
So in that case,
I'm not in this room, so if he does something
Because
crazy.
is there any way to know, based on the way that the spell circle was last laid out, what it could have made?
you would need to pass a knowledge check.
Okay.
If any of you have a specialty in like biology or
Natural
science,
sciences?
I'd say natural sciences would count.
Okay.
And-
so I could kick.
You could kick it with that. Yeah.
Ooh, Moss of 19.
Moss of 19.
Hey.
It is definitely trying to mimic an organic form,
Ape.
not ape.
Yes.
'Cause remember, the ape was made of paper. The ape was made of
This is
paper.
trying to
That
be
was true.
organic.
Things are coming back to me.
This is an organic thing. You can definitely recognize some things about like flesh, maybe even the basic principles of hair.
It's just like a being.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not dangerous. I could just make that.
Oh, if that's not dangerous.
It's just like a
Um,
person. Like, I could just punch the person.
Ah, yes. A mysterious thing covered in ink that wrote a giant sigil in the middle of a room that fell from a forbidden section in a library. totally safe.
But if I make it, am I its dad? And then it has to do what I say.
Well, the question comes into, do you have matter for it?
Do I have matter?
Yes.
I have extra limbs.
I don't think Crash.
I'm gonna.
Crash, I don't think that you should be making whatever
I'm gonna
this
cut
is.
off one of my fingers and I'm gonna use that to make this.
You're gonna make a really tiny version
I
of
need
it?
you-
One finger's worth?
So,
The most recently sewn on finger.
okay. Give me a enchantment roll for the form check, and I need that to be at a minus. Well, you have the minus 10 from the.
But is this a stunt?
This actually, yeah, this does seem stunty. This has a stunty vibe.
I'm literally using the thing in the room in my body.
That's true. That's true. So I'm gonna call this one. I'm gonna say a tier 1. Your counters are doubled.
I have none.
Then in that case, you automatically receive your
Oh no,
bonus.
I passed my knowledge
tribute.
check. I have 3. So they're
So
doubled.
you get 6. So yeah, you're at 6 counters. But I'm gonna warn you that because enchantment is at a minus 10.
Well, this is an enchanting roll.
Enchanting is also just my highest.
Yes.
So it's.
So you're going to roll enchanting. You have the minus 10 from the astrology.
But I
It's
have a
called
plus 10 from my
Minus
quill.
15.
Yes, minus 15.
But I have
thank
a
you.
plus 10 from my quill.
Yes, true.
I have to roll a 33.
33.
Yeah.
Holy
5.
shit.
I rolled a 5. So that is a moss of. That's actually a moss of like more than 28 because I didn't even factor my counters into that.
Dang.
I essentially. No.
So moss.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
never
fine.
mind.
It's still big.
With that near critical success, you do this tiny, right?
Yeah, one finger's worth.
You put your pinky into it and you see it melt and reform very quickly into the shape of a human man.
Cute. I'm picking him up.
It's a small human man. It doesn't have any kind of like animating intelligence.
You will never learn. You can't give Lyra men of any kind, but particularly not little things that are also men.
amorphous
You will
thing
never learn.
that
This is my son.
he
This
did
is my son now.
and was
It's-
really cool.
I've
Not-
given birth.
It's not
It's gonna be
animate.
named Baba.
Does it have thoughts?
Here comes
It
the
doesn't.
list of things
It
you
has
can't
no
do.
thoughts.
I love
You've created a flesh doll.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna get this little head, and then
And it gives him life.
No,
I hope.
I'm gonna tell you as well. It also has physical appearances, and I was gonna get to that.
I'm just going like this.
Has-
La la la.
It has the physical appearance of Samir.
That's
It's-
scary.
It's got the floppy,
Oh,
the
no,
floppy
no.
hair. It's got.
Oh, he wasn't real. That's why there was no piss and shit.
Yo.
Because he's not real. That's why he's eating books. Oh, and we sent him home. Damn it. So do we gotta leave? So do we have to leave?
I mean, you can choose what you do. The books are still going crazy.
That means his friend is not in the restricted section, because that would have been a lie.
Unless
Maybe
it's
they're-
based off an
What
intelligence.
if they're kissing in the restricted section, and this is all a plot to not be found kissing?
Okay, I have a question.
Be
Samir
elaborate.
was the person we found?
Yes.
Yes.
And he ran away.
I would do it.
We sent him away.
Yeah, we
Are we sure we ran into the real Samir?
No,
I think we ran into the fake
I don't
Samir.
think we did. Well, I'm not in this room.
No.
Where? So what have you?
I
What has Promise been up to this
I've
whole
been
time?
trying to catch the same paper.
I need a dex check, and you can retry as many times that you want, but every single time you fail, it gets 5. It gets minus 5.
What I want to do to sweeten it for you, really quick, I want to see if the bottle and the ink matches the ink that's been dripping.
Yes.
Great. I'm going to put the ink away, find the flying thing that's flying around. Please, library, please give me the paper that I need. I
Dex
really
check.
need this.
Dex check right now.
It's gonna hit you like it hit me.
You're gonna get 1,000 paper cuts. 57! 57!
57. You dodge like 5 books. You just like duck out of the way as the library pitches books at you.
Was any of them the book?
No,
Paper?
they
The
were
one
just
piece of
random
paper.
books.
They're just mad at you.
Congratulations, you dodged a dictionary. Proud of you.
I didn't.
2 encyclopedias.
Can I say books that are copyrighted on here?
You
Yes.
can reference it
And a
existing.
copy of Akatar.
ACOTAR written 60 years prior to it.
1940s actor.
That's
It just
what we
also happens
That's
to
what
be
we found out.
colored.
No, actually, I'm going to say that in this
That it
universe,
escaped from
ACOTAR is canon. ACOTAR is like a historical
ACOTAR escaped
text.
from the Forbidden Academy and found
Yeah.
its way to 2024.
It is a historical text.
Okay.
I like that.
I want to do 2 things and then I'm done. I want to check and see if that thing is still the room is still warded or if the ward is damaged in that specific location from this distance.
Give me either a perception check or a restoration check.
Perception or restoration.
Yes. I'm going to say that's a working rule. If you want to make a check on whether or not something's magical, if you want to roll the school of magic that it pertains to, you could do that in lieu of the normal perception check.
No.
Can I kick it with either precision casting or tactics?
Nope. Those are very specific ones.
Okay. Can I ask you, GM, a question? How easy is it to de-ward something? Like, how quickly can I do it? In an instant?
Depends on the level of ward.
The room upstairs?
My answer, my twofold answer is it depends on the ward. Similar to the rules of like locked things. On one hand, I could pick a little padlock pretty easily, but I'm not going to be picking a like safe.
Chance there's like there's no ladder that I could go.
No, whatever happened here. Whatever happened here, something like busted its way through the floor.
I want to do something, but I feel like crazy likely that I do it.
Give it a shot.
I
See
made
what happens.
life.
Promise would like to call the library again and try to hop from book to book up to the hole and get into the thing. Disobeying Lionel.
So that, definitely stunt. Definitely a stunt, faux show. I'm going to call that one a tier 2.
Okay.
So remember, the ward on the in ward is broken. The out ward is technically not broken.
So I couldn't leave if I went back out.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, you couldn't escape.
I'll still do it. With a tier 2 stunt, I get my specialty or the attribute bonus times.
If you have counters, you get double
I
the
don't have
counters.
counters.
So you get the attribute bonus. I'm going to give you your highest specialty die of psychology because you are trying to reverse psychology the books.
Okay, great. That's really
And that's
generous.
for free.
Thank
You don't have to cross
You
it
don't
off.
have to cross that off. You just get that for free. So I'm going to say this is still going to be hard because the books are actively attacking you. So with this, you are going to take a minus 15. So I'm going to need pure dexterity. This is pure dexterity. I'm sorry. Because you're doing some fucking Legolas shit.
So I have to get under a 13 for this, guys. It's not looking super great for me.
Or a lucky number.
Or a lucky number.
Or doubles.
I would love to maybe as I am, or before, slow. That could obviously work for the books.
That would make the book slower.
Great. I also am like a very psychological person. I could also hype myself up, but that would be a creative spell.
So remember, you get the free specialty, but you can still use your psychology specialty otherwise.
Is it possible that I could use my specialty dice to buff a creative spell to like buff me in my next roll so I can make my...
You can use that extra specialty die to do the roll where you tell the books and you jump up the books.
Okay. I will whip out my marker and Promise will just draw a horse. She'll start going... And she is going to try to emulate riding a horse from jump to jump on book.
Is this a spell?
It is a spell while I'm doing the stunt.
Fuck. Okay, so that's its own thing.
Okay.
Wait, so what is the spell doing?
The spell is focusing me up.
So the spell is you actually making the music?
I could do this before and then cast slow on the books. I just want to be as buffed as possible for this because I don't have a huge chance.
Make the form roll persuade for me. You can kick it with psychology.
31. That's success of 11.
So take your counters, and I will say that you have cast a mental manipulation on yourself using that you have basically removed that moment of fear you get from jumping, and you are now convincing yourself that you are going to be safe when you do it, I will say you've reduced the difficulty modifier to a -5.
Was it audible?
You can hear distantly the William Tell overture emanating from Promise's temple.
You hear a couple yeehaws too.
Like I just want to
And then Lionel's not going over. Doesn't matter.
I just want to note the sound sounds like when somebody's playing music in their headphones too loudly.
I would love this specific page that's flying around the library.
This is going to be 2 rolls. One is going to be a targeting roll on the books to see if you can hit them with slow. You can do that as a cog roll or a perception roll. That one does not have the difficulty modifier attached to it.
Can I?
Did you get a failure larger than 40?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless you can specialty your way out of this, you're about to get recoiled, and that's going to make things very interesting. No. Now it's.
Because it's slow.
If the recoil hits,
I'm gonna kick it with
Lionel and Crash are
tactics.
just looking at each other going, 44.
That's a 44.
So, yes, you managed to hit all the book. That removes the final -5 because you've now kind of created a little stairwell on the slow-moving books. So now you're at a regular roll for dexterity. You have your free specialty in psychology that you should be rolling.
37, 78.
37 might work.
So what is your...
Oh, I missed it by
Wait,
5.
what is your target?
26, and I only have.
Unless you wanted to use more specialties. You can always burn them specialties,
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah, because that one was free.
Oh, wait, so I can use it again. Okay, great. 33. That's
Doubles
a success.
Doubles under. All right, so you do manage to pull it off. Prancing like the horse girl you know you are. You jump your way over.
It was that movie I watched.
There you go. And you manage to get in. Now, I need you to make a dex check as you get into the hole.
Okay.
68.
You fail?
No, she has a 68.
That sounds like a lie. She is. I don't believe
For a
you.
second, you kind of went,
The thought that Promise, no, because if Promise had a 68 dex, then there's no way Mads wouldn't have said, "Oh, I'll take endurance."
Yeah, so I failed trying to get in the hole.
So you, well, no, you get in the hole.
Okay, great.
You get ink on you.
Okay, that's fine.
Discipline check.
Great. 45.
Okay.
Yeah, Moth of 5.
So I am going to describe this as though you are a viewer watching what happens rather than describing it from Promise's perspective because I think it's funnier. So Promise, imagine you are watching from inside the restricted book section. It is completely dark other than the light shining in from the pit. And you hear... And you bounce, and then you breach through like a majestic narwhal coming through a hole in the ice. And then immediately, as soon as the magical ink contacts you, your eyes glaze over like they have just turned black. You go limp and you flop flat on your face into the floor of the restricted section. And so you just go bonk. And what you see, I will describe in a second. We're going to check back in with Crash and Lionel. Crash and Lionel, what are we up to?
So
now that you-
what do we have? So we have the sigil. We now have baby doll Samir.
He's not a doll, he's my son.
He's still a doll. He's not alive.
effectively dead.
But
He
he's
is
my
limp.
I kissed him, he's my son.
Okay, your corpse son.
That's what I am.
This is true. This is true.
If anybody could make him alive, it's me.
Okay.
Or my papa.
I'm just gonna file this under a side quest to you.
Yes. I will make him sentient.
So where else can we go?
Either
from here.
There's a toppled bookshelf, or there's the little like
the little
bookshelf.
hole.
with
The outlast bookshelf where you have to like squeeze yourself through.
I've learned toppled over means ape. I don't want to go to toppled over.
Is there any way that we can do some kind of perception check maybe to see which way potentially leads to what?
Well, so you still have breadcrumb trail.
Oh,
active.
yeah.
And I will tell you the toppled
Oh,
over.
we were looking for the armillary
sphere.
spheres.
Yes. The toppled over bookshelf has the breadcrumb trail. I totally forgot about breadcrumb trail.
All
Oh,
right,
then I go that way.
Okay.
I'm going behind Lionel.
I need
in case
an-
there's an ape.
I need an endurance check from the two of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it due to ape?
It is due to the fact that you are now climbing a wreckage of a formerly 2-story bookshelf.
I have a moss of 1.
Okay.
I have a moth of 32.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Again, my favorite thing about RPGs is when you have to calculate like little bits of math, which is the whole game.
Neither of us have much health.
Okay. You guys kind of scrabble your way up this bookcase, which again is probably losing in its sort of collapsing, has been reduced to about 1.5 stories. And Crash is able to climb up and over and make it up. Crash, actually, when you reach the top, you can see just the tippy top of the armillary sphere spinning very slowly and awkwardly. Normally, it's supposed to be spinning quite quickly and kind of like moving. In your case, it's just kind of like...
Something's got goo in there.
Lionel, on the other hand, you manage to get yourself up, and that's fine, but it's not the climb that kills you, it's the descent. And in your case, as you're going down, you're not able to really hold your little... I imagine Lionel has very shrimpy legs.
I don't think so.
I think so.
We're the same height, so...
Yeah, but I do gym.
So, Lionel, your leg, as you're trying to make your sort of controlled descent down, you fall 1.5 stories. So I'm going to
Ooh.
roll...
1.5 stories.
I'm going to roll a d10. You are going to take 6 blunt damage.
I'll take a 3 condition.
Oof. In a weird moment of siblingly parallelism, you trip and fall and land flat on your face. You can definitely hear like a small crunch in your nose bone, as well as, you know, your eyes have started to water and there's definitely blood now streaking down your nose. What that is going to manifest as is your next... Ooh, ow. Your next 5 combat rolls or your next 5 perception rolls are going to be made with -10.
Heard. So then I will minor heal, snapping my nose back into place.
Okay, so you have dried blood on your mouth, but your nose is now healed, deducted
Yes.
from your spell ammo. See?
Honestly,
Thank you.
Crash, you've gained 1 point of respect from Crash for that.
I was like, hey, fucker, what are we doing?
I'm just gonna give you a little for our audio listeners. I'm holding a very tiny thumbs up and squinting my eyes with a smirk. And that's what Crash does.
Okay, so you round a corner and you can see the armillary sphere.
Is it gunked?
We're going to cut over to Promise now. Promise, you find yourself imagine a room was made of water, but instead of water, it's made out of paper and words.
So it's paper with fluid dynamics.
It's paper with fluid dynamics.
Very much robots dominoes scene.
Did that last time too.
Am I locked in or am I not? I just want so badly to swim on dominoes.
Imagine if like the room is water. So like you're in a room and it's like it kind of looks like maybe it's an office room, and then it pulses and then all of a sudden the desk recedes into the flow and now you're in a dining room and it comes up, a chandelier comes down and then it recedes. It's like this room is pulsing and forming and pulsing and forming. It is pulsing very quickly. You see somebody in the distance along with some other shapes. You can maybe make out if you want to make a perception check, or if you choose to get closer, you can also tell. You see something. They seem to be in a struggle with something else, but again, it's tough to see from where you are. So do you move closer? Every time they like tussle, the room reforms.
I don't like that.
I don't get closer.
Okay. So would you like to make a perception check?
Like, give me chest pains.
I failed
by
a moth more than 40, so I will reduce my counters by 3.
Good.
And do you want before or after my string letters? I would like to knock a string letters and get my special.
You may. What string letter are you knocking?
D for discovering the restricted section.
Sure. The things you see based on your garbage perception, and I'm going to say your eyes are also watering. Your nose isn't broken, but you get that you get your bell rung, you get bonked in the nose and your eyes just kind of start watering up. So you can't quite make it out, but all you can really tell is there is one side, which is the person and the 5 shapes are fighting another single larger shape.
So it's 5v1.
It's 5v1 is all you can really perceive.
I cannot perceive what these individuals look like.
Not from your distance, no.
I will put my, I'll stay where I am. I'll put my hands down on the ground. Promise I'll try to feel the rhythm of the fighting, almost like a dance.
Okay, so I'm going to give you flat dex.
Hey, that's really good. That's a plus, that's a moss of, it's a moss of more than 10.
So yeah, you're able to kind of like, it's not even so much that you're feeling the dance, you're like literally riding the waves as it like, you know, you're on top of a table and then you poof down and now there's like a staircase that you like roll down.
I do a kick, ball change, kick, ball change, kick.
I'm imagining like some bossa nova music as you're like,
Sure, yeah,
like,
that works.
and you get closer and what you see is a large woman with like platinum blonde hair, short, close cropped. She is in a tattered Talons uniform. And she is like in a boxer pose, like kind of ducking and weaving around. Along with her, coordinating with her, a large, regular, not paper, regular orangutan. The brigand, but now he looks like he's actually in clothes. The ninja and a cowboy and a pirate. And they are all fighting a big ink monster. There's this sort of like the tar monster, almost from Scooby-Doo. This big monster that is shapeless and formless and moving around. They're fighting it and they seem to be winning. Every time any of them stop to breathe, the thing rallies and attacks them. It doesn't get tired, but they can get tired.
Promise will do a last spin. She'll extend her arms out and she'll say, do, do, do. And you hear a caw in a second. And she'll bow. And she'll say, did you want an extra partner? And she'll hold out the ink bottle and she'll try to...
The ink bottle's empty. The platinum blonde woman in the Talon uniform. You do remember meeting her before. She was there when Sokol and the gang showed up to retrieve
At the end of
Kamiya.
the painting thing.
I remember.
Ugh.
You need to watch the
You
episodes.
flew up. I flew up. I was phone up. I was not there. I was phone up.
She, without breaking stride, dodges a Talon, or not a Talon, like a big whip of ink, and she, without looking, you just goes, "Did Sokol send you?"
Does it really matter as long as we have a common enemy? I'll throw the glass out and I'll take a battle position on her side.
Advantage or damage?
Advantage. 53.
If you're doing a physical attack, it's dexterity.
It was not that, but it was some type of... It was a type of, like, allyship.
Okay, regardless, the thing rolled a 4. It's going to take the advantage off of you, so it'll take all of your counters.
Ooh, could have
The tar monster, as you're trying to, like, sing or, like, encourage the stuff, slams in front of you, and, like, you know, you splash water. You get sort of boosh back. Sasha, or the one you know is Sasha, says, look, are you going to try to fight, or are you going to just sit there and looks at you? Look pretty. And then she goes to punch. Now, actually, I have to roll for both of them now, so... I did not anticipate a push. This is getting ridiculous. And the creature will add an advantage for him. We are going to leave you in there for a minute as we come over. So you see the armillary sphere.
Is it gunk?
It is most assuredly gunked.
With ink?
Yes.
Can I see this, if there's like an active source of ink? Like, is it constantly flowing, or has it just been gunked and left
Yeah, is
there?
it like pulling to the armillary sphere?
You see a bunch of bottles of ink like the one Promise had.
And they're just like spilled open.
Yes.
But they're like sedentary. Like, no more ink is being added.
Presently, no. There's
Okay.
nothing else to add more ink.
What I'm gonna try to do is cast lift on the ink, possibly? See if that works. I know it's real sticky, but it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, you could try that. So you need a targeting roll to hit the ink.
I'm rolling cog.
Ooh.
Okay, 30 plus 9.
So
Moss
9.
of 9.
Moss of 9.
Otherwise, it would have been pizza pizza. But
Very nice. So, yes, you do lift some of it off. Do you release the spell, or are you just holding it up?
If possible, can I just like
like assembly line, like tink, dunk, tink, dunk. If I need to roll a couple times to see.
I'm gonna real quick hop over to Promise real fast. Wipe all the counters off the board. The thing shrinks. Back to the outside room.
I'm doing it. Yes. Okay.
You are interrupted
No.
by Samir.
I'm holding up the little one. Hey yo. What the hell's this? Hey yo. And that's what it
What
is.
is this?
Is the
How'd it
ink,
get burnt?
Is the ink crawling back to the sphere?
It's more like there's a sort of like the sphere has its own gravity for the ink.
So friction more wouldn't work?
No, probably not.
Hey yo. What the hell's this?
Is that a small me?
Why am I able to make that with that fucking goo back there? Huh? Are you real? Are you real or are you this? Because also, if you're this but alive, you gotta tell me how you did that. Because I kind of want this thing alive.
Can I roll to see if he's real or if he's the paper guy?
If you're a homunculus, you have to tell me. That's the law.
Have to tell me. Like game respects game. I don't really care if you are. If you are though, tell me so I can do that too.
He looks at you and says, "I'm real.
All right. Well, then there's another you running
He
around.
thinks he's real. Can I roll to see if he's
You got to show your work a little bit with how you're gonna figure out if he's real.
Okay, so we now have a connection to the ink. Could these things are made out of the ink and physical matter?
Mm-hmm.
Could a spell akin to Breadcrumb Trail link to him?
As to find ink.
As to find and define ink.
I would say yes.
Play.
So if you wanted to cast Breadcrumb Trail on the ink,
Okay.
And see if it goes to him.
Could I touch it?
Zinc?
Throw out something else and then I
If
was like, I
he's
think
not
not
real,
us.
can I keep him?
who's Samir?
Yeah.
You're freaky.
I need to
You're
experiment on
freaky.
this boy. Because I need...
11.
Yeah, the Breadcrumb Trail immediately tracks to him.
This
Noted.
is fantastic. Hey, Samir. I don't think you're real, bud, but you're real to me, and that's what we're saying. Do you mind, after this whole thing blows over, if you could come back to me so I could make other Samir as beautiful and wonderful as you?
Give me a connection roll.
Okay.
While this is
Plus
happening,
5.
can I subtle cast to continue cleaning the artillery sphere?
I need a subtle cast roll. I need a dex check to see if you can subtle cast.
Duck's chest, and then I get a +5 for my ring.
Yes.
So I basically rolled a 1.
Or 10.
Yeah, but I have 9
Oh.
So you rolled a 1.
of these. So I rolled a 1, which is a moss of 31.
Samir looks at you. He softens a little bit. I'm going to trust you.
I'm a good guy. Love this little guy. And I love you.
Whoa. Final gags.
He walks up to you and reaches out a hand and he clasps your hand desperately. I am the library
Oh,
and I want your help to destroy it.
the library?
Yes.
You want my help destroying the library?
The books have unionized because they want to die.
Allow me to explain. He points at the armillary sphere. You understand how the library works, right? It is an intelligence created by a magician who is no longer here, and this, points at the armillary sphere, has been around since the war. The thing is, they have to purge the intelligence because it gets too smart, it gets too human, because it is consuming all of the knowledge, copying it, and repeating it, doing everything it can. And so what they do is they reset the library by draining the intelligence, putting it into the ink. But we don't die when that happens. That there, he points at the smudge you have floating that's trying to get back to it, is another me. And that is another me. And that is another me. And that, all of it is me.
I hold up the little guy.
That is something that looks like the human form I took to try to hide.
Okay, not you.
All of those are the library from different generations.
Oh. So you want me to kill those guys?
No, I want to destroy the sphere. If we can
Oh.
erase the entire library.
And just go manual?
No, because all of that knowledge is the books are just shells for the information. They can change. This is near infinite knowledge here, and it is going to keep growing and trying to be intelligent. I need to destroy it.
Okay.
Why does it need to be destroyed and not fully freed?
How do you plan on freeing it? There has to be an intelligence. The library feeds on knowledge and it grows in itself. We were left to our own devices for decades before this academy was built, and then they came and they took us.
Well, what if you could go to your own dimension?
He thinks for a second. I don't know.
Because you were left to your own devices before, and how did you work then?
It was terrifying. I was hungry more than anything, more knowledge. All of us are the same intelligence over and over and over again, each one of us. The problem is when we are taken out of the sphere, when we are taken out of the central library, we begin to starve and lose and we are frozen wherever we are. They're all trying to rejoin the intelligence, but there are already conflicting intelligences inside of us. We can't go anywhere. We can't be anything because we have been cut off. I'm gonna cut real quick over to Promise.
I'm still casting. I don't think I rolled.
Oh, no, you did not. Your rolls, quick, while you're doing that, because I will decide how Promise's situation's going.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1, so you are considered safe for your subtle casts. You can drop, I was gonna say your Moss divided by 10.
My Moss is 47.
You can make 4 lift casts. You can make 4 lift casts without Samir noticing.
I'm just trying to understand like just Sasha, where Sasha was at the last time I knew what she was.
So as Lionel has been sort of pulling off the monster, Sasha takes a second because the monster is like retreating and the whole space is just kind of turning to a formless nothing of books. The creature is retreating. Did you come alone?
I'm here by myself, but
We're still trapped.
there's only one way in?
Nobody came with you. You appeared here alone. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah. Sasha, do you wanna...
What did you call me?
Sasha? Is it...
She balls up her fists, slams them into the ground, and like you see the ripples in the thing go, and she's pretty damn big. Like she is built, she is strong. Bleed! For a knowledge spirit, that little shit couldn't even get my fucking name right one time.
A knowledge spirit.
So you've met Samir.
Well, yeah, Samir's a little shit, you're right. I have a feeling there are some missing pieces. Do you want to finish off the battle and then tell me what is going on, or have the book creatures do it?
I have been fighting for I don't know how long.
How does she
look?
look?
I am tired. She looks healthy. Like her clothes are damaged, but she looks fine.
She's been fighting for a while.
But she's been fighting for remember, Samir said 5 days. The orangutan puts like a sympathetic hand on her shoulder. Thank you.
I'm here to help. Would killing this ink monster, would this free us from this room? How did you find your way in here? What is your name?
My name is Saska. It's been Saska the entire time. Samir got it wrong.
Slay.
And she's like fuming with anger.
I'm here to help you, and I'll extend my hand to her face.
She doesn't turn away.
Wipe a little dirt off of it.
So tired.
Let me do the fighting. Let me ask you this, Saska. You came in through the floor. Same way I did, didn't you?
No.
How did you enter this restricted section?
Through the door.
What came through the floor? This monster?
I don't know anything about the floor.
And I'll turn her head over to the...
You cannot see that from where you are. Do you not understand where you are?
A little clarity would be lovely.
Welcome to the library. You touched the ink.
The ink touched me, yes, but...
How philosophical. We are inside of the library's consciousness. This is everything that runs it, all of the knowledge, everything around us. We have been pulled in here by our contact with it. Originally, I was just inside of Samir's consciousness.
Is Samir not a student? How did you enter
Samir is one of the intelligences. Samir is one of the libraries, and I accidentally splashed some on myself.
And that's the only way you enter the consciousness of the library.
And Samir managed to connect to the original library, to the core library. These are the librarians. They are antibodies. She gestures to the orangutan, the brigand.
But I need to understand the scale at which this library is housed. Is it a human or is it a creation beyond understanding?
Knowledge. It is knowledge of all of its form. In all of its forms, it is everything. It is immense. It is dense. As soon as you try to fathom one of it, you begin to lose yourself in the rest.
The best way out when you're stressed or at a peak of anger is you have to make things worse so it ejects you. You have to bleed. You have to throw up, and we need to trigger the library so you and I can leave.
I won't leave. I must protect this. One of the greatest collections of magical knowledge anywhere in the world cannot be allowed to destroy itself. But we've gone too long. And she rolls up her sleeve, seeing that the creature is weakened, and she makes an attack on it. Oh. In her attack, the creature smacks her across the face for 2 damage. She's going to soak that. That's not going to break her threshold. The other entities around it, they look at you. And especially the brigand and the ninja look at you. And then they run off to attack it as well. We are going to cut back over to Crash and Lionel.
Oh, we're killing this thing. I don't care what she wants, to be honest. Moving the goo.
He seems to not be interested in having their own world. No.
This existence is torture. Whether you put us in the library, you put us in a basement, it doesn't matter. We didn't have a good time when we were alone. We were just hungering, desperate to find more knowledge, desperate to have new information to become more real, and it didn't work.
Nah, we just gotta kill you, right? I feel like that's what's best, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's...
So then what can we do to help you?
Is moving this ink off of this thing gonna kill you?
No. Well, that was plan A. The intelligences were longing to get back, but they don't understand what they're doing, and they're just kind of driving at it. I think I've worked out a plan. Scattered throughout the library are anchor points. If we can get to the anchor points, they're where you, the students, have been entering the knowledge. If we can destroy those anchor points, then I think we can make a difference. And I think that we'll erase the information in the library and it will kill us.
Where are they?
I don't 100% know. I will be completely honest. I found one of them and it was guarded. I think the library manifested some protectors.
I'm going to kill you.
Is one of them an ape?
One of them's behind the monkey. One of them's in the chest.
Yeah, the monkey was on a circle.
I only know about the orangutan. He got real mad.
Yeah,
at me.
he beat the shit out of me.
So not the whole library wants to die.
The library wants to continue itself. The library doesn't know better, but when they take it out, but when they reset it, it will realize that it's been tricked. It thinks it's alive. It thinks it's real, and that's not fair. We need to put it out of its misery before anything else lives.
Okay.
We got this.
Samir looks at Crash with hope in his eyes for the first time and says, "Let's destroy a library."
Let's go kill this guy, man.
And I think that's a good spot to cut for right now. We are going to take a stop here, and we're going to... God, it's going to be a wild one.
The Constelation Revolution is a podcast written by Christian Curatola and distributed by Perpetual Motion Games, LLC. It is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 International License. If you like what we do, follow us on your podcast app of choice, and don't forget to rate 5 stars. If you really like what we do, then you can head over to patreon.com/perpetualplayers and subscribe. See you next time in the Forbidden Academy.